brought huge flowers and things. I'll show you. Come. I'll show you. Because the key is there, I can show you.
No, it's all right. You can talk to her.
Yes. Okay. I'll show you.
She's still not much down.
No, she just comes from Sydney, stays for weeks or so. And then she planned to come again. But I heard she wasn't well. I don't know how she's feeling these days. You see those plastic style? 1, 2, 3, 4. These would fit up in for bedroom, and they are about 6, 7 more standing inside. It's a lot to handle. After some time, you can't even move things around. She did all these flowers. These two were done by her. And then I put one, and in front another. I said, my God, let's put more. But then it comes too much. I know too much for it.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णा प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम्। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा। देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः। Welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita. We are studying the 13th chapter, Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. Kshetra means the knower, the known, and the Kshetrajna is the knower. There is this microphone here, which is the Kshetra, that means that which is material or that which has manifested, and the other one is the knower of this microphone. So the whole universe can be divided into just these two, the knower and the known, the knowledge and the knower. So this is what when we are very clear about this concept, that behind everything there is the one which is the knower or which is the experiencer. If I can use the term experiencer. The experienced can keep on changing. It can undergo transformations also. But the experiencer always remains the same. As I eat the food, sometimes I taste some food which is bitter, and sometimes I taste food that is sour. So the sourness or the bitterness of the food is dependent upon my understanding of it. Those people who have grown up only eating bitter, for example, they do not know the difference between the bitter and the sweet, because throughout their life they have only eaten bitter. Similarly, there are people in this world who say that they have gone through trials and tribulations all through their life, even though there are larger patches of happiness in their life, but they forget about it because for them the bitterness or the trials and tribulations that they have undergone is more important than the ones that they have experienced, the good ones that they have experienced. So Sri Krishna is trying to impress upon us that you should always focus your attention on the experiencer and not the experienced, because the experienced keeps on changing. The food that tastes so very well for me today, if I keep it outside for a day or two, it will taste terrible. It will become stale and it will become moldy and it will taste terrible. The same food. But whereas my experience of the food, myself, I can choose to experience it well or ill. This is something which has a deep philosophy behind it, which Sri Krishna is trying to talk about. So we will get into this subject. Iti kshetram tatha jnanam neyam choktam samasataha mad bhakta etad vijnaya mad bhava ya upapadyate. So he said, I have explained to you what is kshetra, that is what is material knowledge is, material nature is. And also I have also spoken to you in brief what constitutes knowledge and the object of knowledge. See, knowledge makes one free. We all know that very well. So knowledge of the self, the knower, makes one extraordinarily free and also extraordinarily joyous, happy. I don't use the term happiness over here, but joyous. That is the inner joy and peace. So he is saying here, iti kshetram, I have spoken about this, and he very clearly says, my devotee. Who is a devotee? One who has the willingness to go the long mile, who has the willingness to seek for the real in this universe. Not that which is fleeting, that which goes away. A real devotee, bhakta, is one who has that inner urge, inner desire to become free and to know who he or she is in essence. So that is the true definition of a devotee. He says, my devotee who understands these verities becomes worthy of my state. This is a great saying by Sri Krishna and by all the scriptures, especially Vedanta scriptures. When you know me, what will happen to you? You will become me. You will become the divine itself. Just imagine to what state this philosophy is taking us to. It says that There is no difference between the divine and you. There is no difference. Ultimately, there is no difference. We have created the differences through our lack of knowledge about our own selves. That lack of knowledge has to be removed. That's why we call it as uncovering. The lack of knowledge has to be uncovered. Once that is uncovered, then we become, oh, what am I? In the Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, we get a very beautiful statement there. After talking about realization and all that, the sage exclaims in great joy, "Hau, hau, hau, ahamannam, ahamannam, ahamannam." He goes on like that. Ah me, ah me. I am the food. I am eating the food and thinking that the food is going to be to give me joy. But I am the food itself. What greater joy is there? I am the divine itself. Everything that I hear, everything that the taste, smell, everything is ultimately the divine alone. So this great statement says that my devotee who understands these verities becomes worthy of my state. That means you graduate and become me. Now, right now, you are thinking that you are a petty being, that you are a puny little being with your name, with your qualifications and other attributes. But no, that is not your real I. Your real I is beyond all of this. Know that and be free. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. Know that and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, worship, all of these are only secondary details. Those details do not really matter much. Yes, they matter for a period of time, but they don't really. Once you have that experience, you will say, what was I doing? Where was I searching? I have searched for the divine everywhere, but I have not searched within myself. Once I have that experience, then the whole universe becomes full of joy and full of bliss. We will find the joy even in the little things of life which bothers us. Even within there also there is this mart of joy, this fountain of joy. Even when you are suffering, you will feel that there is the joy. Holy Mother Sharada Devi, she used to say that I feel that there is an underlying stream of joy at all times. Even when she was being battered by sickness and also the sufferings of her family and devotees, etc., yet nobody could take away that stream of joy underlying her. So that is there. So it is just like the water under the bridge. It is always flowing. The water is always flowing. So you just stand on the bridge and either be happy or unhappy, but that's only for a moment. How long are you going to stand on the bridge? You'll go away. But that stream is beneath you. That is the idea that Sri Krishna expresses. Now Sri Krishna takes up the subject of Prakriti and Purusha. Prakritim Purushanchaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunamschaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Know both Prakriti, that is nature, and Purusha, the spirit, to be beginningless, eternal verities. Know also that all changeful objects and attributes that constitute the world of daily experience are sprung from Prakriti. Sri Krishna uses these two terms here. the commentator believes that Sri Krishna borrowed these two terms from the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy does not believe in God the maker or God the ruler and so on. It believes that each personality is a unit of its own. Purushas, there are as many Purushas in this universe, as many beings as they are, and there are, so they are all attracted towards Prakriti or nature. This Purusha gets attached to the Prakriti and thinks that he is enjoying and he is suffering. But the Purusha that Sri Krishna is trying to talk about is called the Ishvara, the one, the Lord of all. That is what he is going to describe to us here. So two words that he adds is Purusha and Prakriti. In the previously he has spoken about Kshetra and Kshetrajna, that is the field and the knower of the field. So he says both this Purusha and Prakriti, the universe, the soul and the universe are anadi. Adi means past, beginning. Anadi, beginningless. See? The universe is beginningless. We say it has been created so many millions years ago. No, it was there already. It has been there for eternity. As long as you can think of in terms of time, this universe has been there. It only comes and goes. It comes from the divine and goes back to the divine. We call it the cycle or pralaya. It comes and goes. So many beings come, have their existence, and then they go back. But the reality exists for all eternity. So Prakriti or the nature that we see around us, including our own body and mind, is the playground of Purusha. It's also the stage for the expansion of the individual. It's also a stage where one can exhibit one's talents, like an actor exhibiting his or her talents on the stage. So this stage has been given, called the universe. Now whether we play the hero or the villain is left up to us. Do we want to play the role of a hero and come out successful, or do we want to make everyone and ourselves miserable by playing the role of the villain, is what it is. So according to the Sankhya philosophy, the five elements, the ether, air, fire, water and the earth, they have corresponding subtle elements. And these subtle elements, which along with the subtle mind or the intellect and the mind, are all the forms of Prakriti or of nature. So Vedanta speaks about manifestation, not of creation. Creation is to have something which did not exist before. But Vedanta says everything has existed. And the Vedas very clearly say, Yatha Purvam Akalpayate. As it was in the past, it has been there. You, me and all of these who are sitting here and who are listening to this or talking about this have been there in the past. We are here. We won't be there for after some time, but we will come back again. That is the theory that Vedanta philosophy propounds. So this is just a manifestation. It's just something that manifests because the seeds of which has been sown long time before. So creation means something which was, it does not mean that it was something that was not before, but it is that it was before and it is being brought into existence as of now. So the universe is constantly falling and rising like the waves in the ocean. It falls, it has an ebb, low ebb, and then it has a tide. So it falls and goes. So pralaya or dissolution, when we say the whole universe will, or the whole earth and other planets, everything will go into dissolution, it does not mean it will disappear totally. See, it is all stored in a seed form. Now it has taken, Sri Ramakrishna has a beautiful example. He used to give a beautiful example. In India is a land where agriculture was the main profession. Even today is the main profession of the people. So there is the elderly lady in the family, the grandma of the family. She has the responsibility to go around the farm when there are good crops. She goes round the farm and then chooses the best of the seeds or best of the fruits or vegetables which has seeds in it, and ties a string around it. So when the harvester goes, when the people harvest, what they will do is they will just leave those plants aside. They will not cut them. So naturally the plant dries, seed also dries, and then the grandma would go into the farm, pluck those dry fruits or dry seeds, bring it and keep it safely in a place. So in village India, there would be a pot that is hanging from the roof. It was all thatched huts, mud built houses with thatched hut, and she would be hanging an earthen pot. So she would put all these best seeds over there and cover it so that the mice and other insects do not come and eat them. And then she goes her way. When the time for sowing the seeds come next time, she would be the first to go and plant those seeds. It's a beautiful example that Sri Ramakrishna gives. She will plant. So the plants that are growing now are the result of the past. They have been there before, and she just takes it and then puts them back. Similarly, this universe also goes into abeyance for a little while. It goes into the pot, as it were, and after some time the divine wishes that there should be propagation of this, and then the same the plant which was there before will start growing anew. So in the wave arises from the ocean. The next example that is given is the rising of the wave from the ocean. So where was the wave? It was within the ocean. It was a part of the ocean. Some waves are huge, some waves are small, but they are waves nevertheless which belong to the ocean. How many times has this universe risen and merged again and again? So the jiva, or the soul, the embodied being, also is without being. That's what he says, anadi. Anadi, it has been there for a long time. We don't know when it began. That is why Hinduism is called as Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means ancient religion which has no beginning. Therefore, there is no founder of Hinduism. There is no founder. There is no one prophet or one incarnation. Comes on. Sri Ramakrishna says, Swami Vivekananda says that Rama, Krishna, Christ, Buddha, and all of these great incarnations are but waves in this ocean of consciousness. They come. They are large oceans, waves as it were. They can uplift huge ships with their power. So they are, but nevertheless, they are those waves, and they merge back into the ocean after some time. So God does not create us anew, something new. So when we say, I am creating something, it is a misnomer. It is something which is untrue. What we do is, we just manifest it in a new form, manifest it anew, that's all. That's all that we do. So the Divine Lord, as it were, pushes us from this subtle state of being the seeds to the gross state that we are in. According to our karmas, whether our karmas have borne good fruit or good results or bad results, we have grown up like that. If we keep on emitting bad fruits, that means bad results from our system, we will be born again and again as into that same culture or into that same arena, that same space. But if through diligence, if through concerted efforts, which is called as sadhana in Sanskrit, concerted efforts, yes, I shall become free, I must become free, I will become free, willing and then making a resolution, and that great intensity to become free. Once that intensity drives us towards the goal, it is not very far. We will be very, very soon reaching that goal. So he says here, Vikarams gunams chaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. The modifications that the changes that happen in us, modifications of the body, the mind, the intellect, all of these keep on undergoing transformation. It keeps on undergoing change. See, nothing in the universe, including our own thoughts and our feelings, everything is constant. Nothing is constant. It is all subject to change. It keeps on changing. Only we need to adapt ourselves to change. Those who do not adapt themselves to change will become useless, will become vegetables. We need to adapt ourselves to change, because the universe is, the nature of the universe is samsarati iti samsaraha. The term for universe in Sanskrit is samsara. That means that which keeps on changing. It is in a constant state of flux. It keeps on changing. Sometimes it changes for the good, sometimes it changes for the not so good. So he says here that one has to modify the modifications of the body. It's everything undergoes change. The example is given to construct a building. The builder sources materials, wood, steel, cement, concrete, and everything. Now, this building is already hidden in those materials. It's a wonderful thought that this building is already hidden in those materials. If somebody says, oh no, I'm creating a new building, I think he is basically wrong, because it is already there. It's only trying to manifest itself. So the owner asks the builder to build this building according to his taste and his plan. So the various materials are available somewhere. It may be here, or it may be in any other country, but his sources and all of them are meant to make this building. So similarly, we, according to our budget, we choose the materials for this body. We choose. This is something very deep. We choose. That means the self, the Jivatman, or the individual soul chooses the materials for this body and mind. Some of us use good materials and some do not use good materials because we find that it is cheaper. So do we use good materials or bad materials or not so good materials is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Are we going to put within ourselves good thoughts, good habits, or are we happy to just let all rubbish to be accumulated within ourselves? It's a big question that we need to ask ourselves. So if we keep on pouring, or if we keep on introducing evil thoughts, thoughts that are not wholesome, thoughts that are not positive, that which are not ultimately useful, then the edifice that we will build around ourselves, the building that we build around ourselves also will be like that. It will leak here, it will leak there, it will explode here, it will explode there. All that will happen if we do not choose our body and mind to have the proper thoughts, the proper food, for example, proper exercise. Everything falls into this. So it is for up to us. The individual has to choose all of this. That's what he says. Both the Prakriti and Purusha are beginningless. Know that all changeful objects and attributes that constitute the world of daily experience are sprung from Prakriti, the materials. Prakriti is, if I can use that word very loosely, is the materials out of which this edifice called human body or human personality is built. So we have the Swami Vivekananda says, you are the creator of your destiny. See, many people think, oh, destiny is written somewhere high up there. Somebody called God is sitting there and he is writing. Okay, you go to hellfire and you go to heaven and so on and so forth. No, God is not a tyrant that he will ask you to do. We have written it ourselves, or we have gathered these materials within ourselves. So we need to make that all-round effort to make sure that we gather good materials, good thoughts, good habits, etc. So then our life will become fruitful, not only for ourselves, but also for the others. Next sloka, next verse, Sri Krishna is continuing this. Karya karana kartrutve hetuhu prakriti ruchyate purushas sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve hetu ruchyate. Prakriti or nature is the cause of the formation and functioning of the body and the senses. Prakriti is the cause, while it is the Purusha that experiences pleasure and pain, joy and sorrows. See, just like the house and its occupants, they are different. House is different, house is made of certain materials, and the occupants are made out of certain materials. You, me, and all of us who are occupying this space, we are different. So the body and the residents are different. So the indweller, the resident, is called the Purusha. Puri Shayanat Va iti Purushaha. One who resides in this citadel, in this palace called the body. One who resides as the king, he is called as the Purusha. See? He uses these different objects in this house. There is the microphone, and there is the table, there is the chair, etc. We use all of these different objects to either become happy or to become unhappy. The fire is there to cook. Somebody uses the fire to cook. Some mischievous child or person goes and puts his hand on fire and burns itself. Whose mistake is it? Is it the mistake of the fire? No, it is my mistake that I have put my hand into fire. So happiness and sorrows are nothing but the reactions that we have towards the world. It's a very significant statement. Happiness and misery or sorrow are the reactions that we have towards the world. As I said earlier, some eat bitter fruits, bitter food, and then says it is a miserable experience. But some are there who love that bitterness. They love the bitterness. Not many people are there who love that, but there are people definitely who just hate anything that is sweet, but who love anything that is bitter. So, but enjoy eating it. Sri Ramakrishna gives a very example of the camel. You know, the camel, the favorite food of the camel is the acacia thorn. In the desert, these acacia trees grows in abundance. It doesn't need water to grow. So these camels go and then they enjoy tasting or the acacia plant. And those thorns, when they chew the leaf and the branches, the thorns prick their jaws and it bleeds, their jaws bleed. And the camel thinks that the thorn is very tasty, salty and tasty, because it's its own blood that it is tasting, isn't it? It's tasting its own blood. So, similarly, experiences in this universe is neither good nor bad. It's only our reactions towards it. That's why somebody said, act and not react. Act, but not react. See, reaction to the situations, reactions to people is what causes conflicts in our life. Am I right or wrong? Reaction to the world, reaction to other people is what, if somebody you say that I am a fool, and immediately I react and say, you dare call me a fool? I said, it is just a few words that you have used against me, so why should I react? Instead, I should act and say, sir, I am not a fool. I can prove to you that I am not a fool. And you show it by your actions. Then that is action, not reaction. Such a wonderful thought that we have from our elders. So, when our focus is rested on consciousness, on the divine, then we attain this state of transcending both pleasure and pain. That is why if we hold on to the divine thoughts, if we hold on in bhakti school of thought, it is the name of the divine. If we are constantly chanting the name of the divine, then what happens is all this pleasure and pain does not hurt you. There will be some bruises around you, but it will not cause you hurt. It will not cause you sorrow or misery. There will be pain, but not misery as such. So, when there is a sense of doership within us, when we perform all our actions with the sense of doership, I am doing it, I am thinking, or I am responsible for it, and so on and so forth. When we have this, all these dualities of pleasure and pain will remain, and the doer becomes affected by the pleasure or pain that the objects bring to us or the circumstances bring to us. So, if we can allow the experience of the divine to remain within us, remain when we are taking our decisions, when our intellect is purified by the thought or remembrance of the divine, then we will be free from this duality of pleasure and pain. See, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, immerse this little I, the puny I, that I am this, I am that, qualified I, so to say. Immerse this little I in the universal I, the vast I. I am divine. The divine resides in me, the divine is, or this whole universe is a play of the divine. Sri Ramakrishna stresses this very point of the play of the divine. He is there. Wherever you see, He is. Is there a place where He is not, the divine is not? No, there is not a speck of space where He is not there. That is the idea. The secret is when we refrain our mind from seeking the enjoyership. I want to enjoy this. I want to, be happy by getting this. No? When we give up this seeking for petty joys in this world, we will immerse into the joy of the divine. Sri Ramakrishna calls it as bhajanananda. Bhajana means by thinking, by meditating, by chanting the name of the Lord, you get immense happiness, immense joy within yourself. But if we again, I will stress that if we again immerse ourselves in the state of doership or enjoyership, the result will be that we will get caught in this cycle. Sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. When we go down into the depths of depression, anxiety, fear, etc., we feel that the world is very unfair to us. We feel it very much. But if we have to go up, when we go up, we feel, oh, I am there. That means I am the divine. So, in the Mundaka Upanishad, this is very beautifully stated. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parishasvajati tayoranyah pippalam swaduvatti anashnannanyo abhichakashiti. So it says there are two birds of the same plumage, same color, same build, everything is similar, exactly the same, no difference between them. They both are sitting on a tree. One is in the lower branches and the other is on the upper branch. And the one in the lower branch is sometimes eating the sour fruit and is disgusted, and sometimes eating the sweet fruit and is very happy. That's what we are all. And then at times it is looking up and sees that the bird above is not at all perturbed. It is not eating either of the fruits, sweet or sour. It is just perched there in its own glory, very happy. And this little bird, which is eating the sweet and the sour fruits, is wondering, how is it that the one that is there is not at all perturbed, looks mightily pleased with itself. What is it? So later it realizes that when it looks above in a state of wonderment, it is himself or herself that is over there. One's own reflection is seen over there. So we need to see that reflection, that reflected self, or the real self which is there actually, and not the one that is engaged in this game of hide and seek, in this game of enjoying both the bitter and the sweet fruits. So Purushaha and Prakriti. So in the next verse, Sri Krishna is talking about the highest being, that is the Purusha. What is the nature of that highest being? He will be talking about it, which we will take up when we meet next Sunday. Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogiridhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavapayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. There is a langar today by the Namdhari Sikh from 11:30 or 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. There will be some kirtan, and then there will be langar or serving of food for everyone. So everybody is welcome today. Thank you.